Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and if this is your first time here or you haven't been here in a while and you haven't subscribed, please do so and hit the thumbs up button. Also, drop your comments. Love the comments. All right, well, today we're going to have a little fun. There has been some rumors, news reports, conjecture by people with sources that the New York Knicks are looking to trade up in the 2022 draft. And they're looking to trade up specifically for one player, Jaden Ivey. That's right. The New York Knicks want Jaden Ivey. Interesting. Makes some sense because he is the one guy, the one guard, look at it this way, the one guard that most people can feel most comfortable with him actually becoming an all-star one day. That's the feeling with Ivey. There's other guys, Shaedon Sharpe. The problem is, we didn't get enough information from him. He didn't play in the combine, but his talent looks elite. It feels elite. There's other guys that I like a lot, Benedict Mathurin, and even AJ Griffin, who the Knicks did go to the CAA. Was it the CAA Pro Day? Whatever it was. It was a Pro Day that it was Ivey and AJ Griffin, and Leon Rose and Tom Thibodeau were there, and Walper and the whole group there to watch them. So those guys are interesting. I like those guys. I like them a lot. Johnny Davis is also somebody that is being discussed. But of all of those players, Ivey is the one that is the consensus selection for the one that actually may fully realize his potential and become an all-star. Like, it's not guaranteed, but he's closer to being that person. He's explosive. I mean, his dunks are incredible. He's basically a larger Ja Morant. There's even a tweet going around with a video side by side, like a top and bottom, comparing Ja and Ivey, and let me tell you, it's very convincing. However, he has some negatives. He tends to lose focus defensively. He tends to, go for the steal when he shouldn't. But those are all things that can be taken care of. One of the major thing is, I have struggled somewhat seeing him as a point guard. Now, maybe the Knicks don't see him as a point guard. We don't know. But he's being discussed that way. Now, he does have passing potential. He does have some playmaking potential. This is something he can grow into. He's only 20 years old. Last season, he averaged 17.3 points per game, and his true shooting was almost 58%. So that's nice. It's pretty impressive. He has some really good three-point range. I mean, he can shoot it from almost five feet behind the arc. I've seen, he's phenomenal like that. He can do it step back, off the dribble. He can shoot it in many different varieties. However, it's not like he's not there yet. So this is all speculation. However, the elite raw talent is there. The athleticism is there. He would probably immediately become the number one most athletic player on the Knicks, competing with Obi. Obi is an incredible athletic player. I mean, his athleticism is phenomenal for that size player, but Ivey's is going to be even more off the charts. This is what I'm assuming from what I've seen. Now, thing is, you're probably wondering, well, George, how are they going to do this? All right, well, let's look at this thing. And where did this rumor come from? Well, for one, Ian Begley reported this week that a few people in touch with the Knicks came away with the impression that the Knicks are open to moving up in the 2022 NBA draft. Okay, well, that could also mean move up to the 7th pick, which is also a possibility. But we've also heard that this is the situation. Jake Fischer of Bleacher Report reported, and he's pretty legitimate reporter. He has excellent sources, and he put out a whole article about the latest NBA offseason intel that he got, and he is looking at right now. Well, first of all, he reported that the Knicks are in search of a point guard. Obviously, they're in search of a point guard. And it doesn't look like Donovan Mitchell is going to happen this season, which we all kind of knew. We knew it was a tricky situation, but then again, you never know. But this is what he's been hearing. However, later on in the article, he did report, elsewhere in the point guard conversation, word of New York's interest in Purdue sophomore Jaden Ivey has been often repeated by league personnel. So, this is coming from different areas. So it's looking like this is the real deal. Like, this is legitimate, that they have legitimate interest. By the way, I will be dropping a mega mock video this coming week. So look out for it, maybe Monday or Tuesday, but look out for it. I'll be dropping it. It's fun. It's awesome. And I'll also have my mock prediction within there. And as you remember from last season, it was pretty fun, pretty interestingly accurate in a lot of ways about how players are moving up and down. I see some volatility. All right, also here. So Tommy Beer, he tweeted out that the Knicks contingent, like I mentioned before, Knicks contingent, Leon Rose and Thibs were present for both Jaden Ivey and AJ Griffin's pro day. Okay. The Knicks, and then here, on what was this show? I forgot what the show. Oh, ESPN, the NBA draft analyst Jonathan Givony, when he was asked for one bold prediction for the draft, he said right up front, the Knicks trade up to 4 and take Jaden Ivey. And there it is. There's the photo right there. You see Jaden Ivey going up for, I think that was, he just dunked right there. And there is Leon Rose in the blue, sitting down, and Tom Thibodeau at the edge of that photo right there. I don't know who the guy is in the white shirt in between, but there they are, watching this guy. So this seems legit. All right. Now, the big question. Ivey, the thing is, at the end of the day, we would want him to really be more of a point guard. And he doesn't really look like he's going to turn into that. So then he's the 2 guard. So then that puts RJ, keeps him at the 3. IQ is the point guard. OB is the 4. And hopefully Mitch comes back and he's the 5. I mean, that's a pretty interesting starting 5. I just don't think that Tom Thibodeau, unfortunately, we're stuck with him. I don't think he'd go for this. Now, obviously, there is legitimate interest because he was there at this pro day. So maybe I'm wrong about that, but I'm just going by, what history has shown us. I mean, would he really embrace this? All right, so let's say he does. If he does, immediately what happens is Ivey, the beautiful thing about what Ivey does is he's just north and south, man. Just totally just downhill. The guy just goes towards the basket. So we'd have a guy like him that goes towards the basket with elite speed, elite athleticism. He can beat his guy every single time, basically. Ivey has defensive potential and everything, but he does slack off. But he has the ability to catch up to his man that may have beat him for a second or two. So we lose a little something there defensively, but we gain in penetration towards the hoop. A lot of hoop penetration, a lot of hoop pressure there. So rim pressure. It's just weighing the pluses and minuses. And then comes Julius Randle. Now, for me, that's not a big problem. I think I'm a firm believer in the addition by subtraction. Julius, his time is played out here. Even if he has a bounce back year next year, which I expect him to have one of sorts. Absolutely. I think number one is just pride and ego. He's a very prideful guy. He obviously apparently has a big ego, and I'm sure he doesn't want to play like the dud that he played last season. So it seems like he's in the gym. He's going to get back into that incredible physical shape that he was when he reported to camp in 2020. So I see him having a bounce back season, but his style of play is not the style of play that we need on the Knicks right now. If you watched how the team played when IQ and OB and RJ were on the floor together, where the ball is constantly moving, constant cutting, I mean, it's fun to watch, and it's winning basketball. Julius, the way Tom Thibodeau uses him, turned into losing basketball, and then he never adjusted. We can't afford that anymore. And also, we can't also take the chance that he'll snap again. I mean, what was the reason last season? I mean, he was the second team All-NBA. We were all hype. You know, we thought he was going to continue that. We thought we had found our number one guy. Now, was he a number one on a contending team? We were waiting. Hopefully, we were hoping he could develop into that, or at least be a solid number two. Now he's looking like a third option at best on a contending team. And that's really what it comes down to. I don't believe that Julius Randle will be able to accept the role that would lead to wins on the New York Knicks, because he'd have to take a few steps down the rung. And I think that's where a lot of the problems came from last season. So in that way, trading him in essence for Jaden Ivey and the ability to bring Jaden Ivey in, that's worth it for me. It's a tricky trade. It's a tricky situation. I'm not even sure this is even possible. We're just putting this out there as a discussion point, and whether the actual details, the actual elements of the trade are exactly what I'm proposing is neither here nor there. The point is that there is a possibility, and we've already heard reports that the Sacramento Kings are looking to trade their pick. And we heard reports that the Portland Trail Blazers are looking to trade the pick. So this is within the realm of possibility. I want to hear what you guys think. All right. Well, thank you for watching this. My name is George. I am into the Knicks-Verse, and you should subscribe if you haven't, and hit that thumbs up button and drop your comments. And look out for a slew of videos coming out soon. The first one being the mega mock draft video for the 2022 draft. All right. And I will see you around the Knicks-Verse.